What up, nation? Welcome to another edition of the WiseTake KBO Daily Fantasy Sports Wise Stream, CK013 here. You can find me on Twitter at CK_013. And I, of course, am from the WiseTake Nation. We are a premium DFS content provider as well as a DFS community designed to help make you a better DFS player. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Please subscribe. We've been doing the KBO grind since opening day. I haven't been doing the stream since opening day, but I've been doing the content since opening day on WiseTake.com, and it's been free, so hopefully you guys are taking advantage of that while it is free. Got projections, the projections I use. I write an article, kind of just, it's more of an analysis. It's more like a notes article. It's a breakdown. I don't go over every single spot. I just kind of go over like some of the spots that I think are kind of key on the slate. And then I have a cheat sheet for those of you that build lineups by hand or you're looking for a player pool. I kind of have the players ranked in order of point per dollar based off our projection. I will say this, the content's free, but you still got to put in some work. And that work you got to put in is, if you are going to play some KBO DFS, you do got to wake up at least an hour before lock. I mean, for you guys, you could probably wake up like half an hour before lock. For me, I got to wake up an hour before because I got to get the content updated, but I have to actually put the lineups in so that everybody using our stuff gets the updated information. But I'll be up in the morning. I'm waking up every morning and updating the lineups as it comes in. The reason I say that is because our projections and our cheat sheet are designed to only give you players who are actually in the lineup. So we have projected lineups that we use, and what you'll see on the screen is our projected lineups. The official lineups don't come out until at least an hour before lock. So, yeah. So I advise you wake up, because even if you use this stuff, like, these are all projected lineups, so you're going to want to get the latest. Again, the cheat sheets and all that stuff once it's updated, and I've been posting from the WiseTake Twitter when it's updated so that anybody that's using it knows, okay, I'm good to go. I can re-download the projections, I'm good to go, or I could pull up the cheat sheet and really take a look and start building because I'm good to go. So as soon as I get them in, I put them in, and then it's updated. So make sure you guys take advantage of that. So again, just to reiterate, the lineups you see on this screen behind me are the projected lineups. They're not confirmed, not official. They don't release them until about an hour before, at least, right? But other than that, KBO's been cool, man. I've been so close, and I'm sure all of you have, right? Like, baseball's the fun thing about baseball. The variance is fun because you always have a shot, right? You could end up with I think the last 3 or 4 nights I do a lot of teams. I don't do 150 in the big donkey. Usually like anywhere from like 30 to 50, somewhere in that range, and then I do like the 50 cent I maxed at, the 20 entry maxes I max all those. So I usually have 240 teams, 220, 230, somewhere in that range, and I'm always just like one home run away from like the fucking donkey, and it's just destroying me because when it comes down to it, you're like, all right, I just need a home run, right? No big deal, right? Look at the home run percentages. Look at the ones on the screen behind me. I use them as an example. A guy hit 22 home runs last year and has a 180 ISO, which is pretty good. Especially in the KBO, and he hit a home run 3.63% of the time. So I'm going to win the donkey 3.63% of the time when I'm in that situation, right? Assuming I roster him, what if you roster Hyung Jun over there with a 0.9% home run percentage? That's if you need the home run. On the flip side, what if you need a single or a double or something like that? Well, the best hitters in baseball, right? We think somebody's really good at hitting if their batting average is 300, right? So you're talking about 30% of the time. That's what we're relying on. So on the one hand, it's like, oh, well, that's the thing. Like, when you think about it from that perspective, it might get you down on baseball. But on the positive, the fact that you are constantly getting in those positions, the fact that you're rewarded more for being creative with your lineups, being creative with your stacks, and not just stacking the chalk every time, or not just playing the chalk pitcher every time, doing something to get different. Now, obviously, Doosan, the last like 3 or 4 nights, they're chalk every night and they're smashing every night. But there's still been different ways to mix in it. I think today, mixing Doosan with Samsung, or yesterday I should say, or this morning, whatever, it was like mixing Doosan with Samsung. That ended up being kind of the way to go, at least from the teams I saw, with a pitcher that was like 63% owned in Koo, and even Tyler Wilson, all those guys, they were all fairly popular. So that was like 3 chalk pieces that hit. Koo, whatever, I forget what the fuck we were doing. Anyway, so yeah, you got Koo. It was like Tyler Wilson and Gagnon, whoever you want to plug in there, and then Doosan, all chalk. The contrarian way, the people that separated and went from that like min cash thing to the top with Doosan were the ones that had the Samsung part, which was really low owned, or some other low owned piece that got them up there. But we're close, man. We're close. It'll be our day. It's awesome. Like, I feel good that I've had teams every day with a shot. Obviously, like, what sucks, it's like GPPs are so top heavy, especially when you're doing multiple teams, multiple contests. If you don't take that first place or you don't get that top 5 finish, it can be tough to make money, especially when in a sport like baseball, where I like in basketball, I might play 100% of a player, right? I might just hit the lock button on somebody and just go if they project too well, if the price is too good, the spot's too good. In baseball, I almost never do that. Maybe with a pitcher, if I feel real good about it, it's just, but I know I'm going out of my way to take a risk I don't normally take, to take a stand. In the usual realm of things, like, I'll cap my hitters at like 35%. Because there's variance, man. Like, the best hitter in the world can go 0-4 any given night, right? Guys get pinch hit 4 at times. All right, I know that really burned me a little bit. Some of my teams put up so many runs, they start getting pinch hit. Guys getting hit by pitches and leaving the game. And I had some real, teams that were contenders that like got robbed of like 2 or 3 at bats collectively throughout the team because of that kind of stuff. But anyway, it's been fun, man. Listen, I've been having fun after not doing the streams for a little while. Like, after baseball kind of stopped abruptly, we just didn't have any real content. And did some podcasts to keep busy. The DFS interviews have been cool. The latest one we have is Jeff Mann's. Working on getting a couple guests lined up. Just taking a little time to see who's available and kind of see how the schedule works, see whatever their schedule is. Their sports are coming back at some point, we think, and we're hearing information, so everything's changing every day. But you know. But yeah. So we're excited. KBO's here. I don't care. I don't give a damn. Baseball is baseball at this point, man. That's how bad I miss the sports. I'll take it. I'll wake up at 4 o'clock every day, take my nap, take a little nap action, and I'm good to go. All right. Let's start it off with the first game here, which is the Lada Giants and the Hanwha Eagles. So one thing I'll just kind of throw out there, this is the start of a new series for all these teams. So, every day, like, you get 3 days straight, these guys are all playing the same opponents. This is where it gets switched up. So this is the first game of the series for these teams. Dan Straley is back on our lives, and he's on the hill. So we got some interesting things to go over Straley. And on the other side of this, we've got this, Wan Kim guy, right? Whose numbers aren't all that impressive, right? 8%. Is that an 8% strikeout rate? Unflattering, right? At the very least. So let's talk about the pitching first. So Straley is going to be ridiculously owned, and rightfully so. I'm not fighting that. If we look at Straley's numbers now, the numbers that you saw on the previous screen were his. I tried to find something comparable. He projects, first of all, Straley is the highest projected point per dollar player we have. I tried to temper my expectations. He's coming off an 11 strikeout outing. But I'm going to have to make some changes and kind of switch Straley to, based off this start, I'm going to decide if I'm ready to switch over to this year's sample for him, only because if he's going to continue to have outings like that, then the numbers that I'm pulling up are not close. Like, I was trying to find something in the minor leagues that was close or something, a season that was close, and it's really not if he's going to be doing shit like that. So, pretty big start. Now, in the meantime, here's the thing. The way our projections are, because it's going off his 2019 stats, it's looking at his 4% home run rate and looking at his 1.299 whip. So it's actually giving our Hanwha players a little bit of a boost. However, like I said, Straley is the highest projected pitcher. How does that work? So depending on how much, the way the projections are working right now, if you upload it into an optimizer, if you choose to cap Straley at like 30%, then you're going to get 30% Straley, but then the teams without Straley are probably going to get a lot of Hanwha stacks, right? Because it's giving him a boost based off the whip and home run. So, his situation is a little extreme. It's been working fine for everyone else. He's just kind of some of these foreign players, when I can't find seasons that are like comparable, we run into some issues. So if you put Straley at like 50% or 60%, you're not going to get a lot of Hanwha Eagle stacks. So that's kind of the way it works. It's boom or busty, right? And the reason I want it that way, at least for this particular example, is because Straley is going to be ridiculously popular. We have some really shitty pitching on the slate. I'm going to go through it, but it's just nothing great. Straley, by far, has the most upside, the biggest ceiling. I don't know why DraftKings didn't bother to raise his price. It's just flat out laziness to not raise his price. Let me show you what he did. Okay. So obviously his first game was blah, but his second game was absolutely dominant. He's sporting a 2.44 FIP, a 0.711 whip, 2.17 home run percentage, a 32% K rate. Are you serious? And he's playing Hanwha, who's not like, they're not the worst offense, but they certainly ain't the best. You know, matter of fact, let's actually look and see. We have the numbers, right? Let's just fucking look at it. Here we go. So as you can see, as far as power goes, not a lot there, right? We've got Sung-Yo Lee at 21 homers. We've got Jared Hoying at 18 homers. Hoying, you bastard. He was another one that got pitch hit for. I still like Hoying. I'll still play him just because. And you can see, if you notice here, they're all getting projected pretty well. I may go back and make an adjustment to that. We have until lock to make that decision. Maybe we have Hanwha a little bit too high. But again, like I said, when I'm running teams now, because I'm willing to play a lot of Straley, at least at this moment, it's not giving me that much Hanwha. But here's the thing. Like, if you are playing Straley, whether you're playing Straley or not, you do want a little bit of Hanwha because he's going to be so fucking popular that if you nail that, like if he happens to blow up, which we know he's capable of, but if he happens to blow up, it's just an easy path to the top. So I'm not saying it's something you want to go like 30-40% of, but you can get like 5%, right? Especially if you have a lot of Straley, why not have some hedge teams? And if you're going to do that, you're looking at Jared Hoying, Sung-Yo Lee. But the rest of the team, you look at it and you kind of understand, right? Like that they're not offenses. It's not great. Right? No one even close outside of those two guys in terms of home runs and ISO and all that. No one even close. 17.88 strikeout rate for Dan Straley, who we know this year in the KBO through 2 starts, his K rate's like 30-some%. I'm not telling you guys not to play Straley, just to be clear. I'm playing a shit ton of Straley. I'm just saying that it's nice to have a little Hanwha hedge because, like, you need to be like. If Hanwha is only going to be like 3% owned, 2% owned because Straley's going to be so popular, then you don't need to have 20 or 30%. You know, you can if you feel real good about it, but you can just have like 5 or 6% and be overweight and still have as much Straley as everybody else. You see what I'm saying? As far as the lot of Giants, so this guy, Ewan Kim, I guess we'll look at him real quick, right? Let me get them screen actions. So 2019, Ewan Kim, he came out of the bullpen a lot. The K rate is just pathetic last year. The whip's not great. Didn't give a lot of home runs, but again, I think he mostly pitched out of the bullpen. Looking at his numbers from this season, he didn't do terrible in his last game. He's projecting for 11.65 if we use purely this year's sample, which is too small for me. ERA was 1.8, but his FIP was 4.9. That's a pretty drastic difference. Looks like he got a little lucky so far. 1.2 whip. 13% K rate is up, but we expect it to kind of go down. If he's not getting it done in the bullpen, it's hard to imagine. You see a lot of guys with high strikeout rates out of the bullpen, and then it kind of comes down when they start. It's not usually the other way around. So there could be some aggression. There's going to be aggression coming from him at some point, but it could be immediate. I think a lot of Giants are definitely worth stacking again, man. They're playing well. They're shocking everybody. I know when you look at their numbers, it's not exactly. And these are 2019 numbers, to be clear. I'll probably switch the hitters at some point soon because we're starting to build decent sample sizes. The pitchers, though, I'm a little reluctant to switch it too early. I like to have an idea of where their base was on a big sample before we start judging them on small ones. But for the hitters, we can kind of, at this point, I think we're at a point we can start looking into, or at least incorporating it, maybe blending it in. But if you look at the Giants, Junwoo Jeon, 22 homers, 3.63 home run percentage. There's some pop here. We got some speed too. Not like crazy speed, but guys that can and will steal bases in the right spots. They don't project as high as I would have liked them to. Probably something to do with the low home run percentage, which is bullshit because he came out of the bullpen. But I'm interested in a lot of Giants on this side. So Straley with the Giants is fine. Again, just to be clear, Straley is going to be crazy, ridiculously popular. So when I'm saying like, yeah, I'm pitching him because I got nobody else. Like if we had other pitching, I would do everything I could just to get a little different in tournaments. But I mean, it's tough, man. But again, because of that, I will have Hanwha teams where I don't have Straley. But I'm gonna have a lot of fucking Straley. That's the issue. All right, let's go over to the NC Dinos. This is like becoming everybody's favorite team. It's probably mine in the KBO right now. I love these guys. What's not to like, man? These dudes like Sung Bum Na and all that shit. I like it. I'm all for it. Hit that like button if you haven't already, guys. Much appreciated. I had somebody ask. I saw somebody's in the chat asking if I had a Patreon or something like that. No, we don't have a Patreon. We have the super chat thing, which I think in some way is like a way to support us. Other than that, man, just hit the like button, man. When we're back in business, when we're back rolling at WiseTake.com, you can look into memberships if you're interested. But right now, everything's free. We're just kind of chilling, free rolling, just doing dirties. All right, on to our boys. So, Jae-Hak Lee pitching for the Dinos, Seung-Won Moon. All right, so I'm going to get with Jae-Hak Lee for a second. Not terribly interested. I don't hate it, but he's super expensive, 9,700. And from what I see, I mean, he seems really good at pitching to contact. But from what I see, it's a lot of mediocrity here, right? Like, look at his projection, 12.19. Last season, 3.75 ERA, which is really good. 3.5 FIP, very good. 1.357 WHIP, not bad when you consider he's got a 16% K rate. So you're talking about a lot of balls put in play. Home run rate was very low, 1.07. So I think that he is a decent pitcher, but do you want to pay 9.7 for this guy? That's the question. Does he even have as high of a ceiling as a guy like Straley at 7K? It's hard to make that argument. He had a pretty good game, right? If we go off his 2020 numbers, he projects around 15, which is a little bit better, but still not really worth that 9.7 price tag. I think in cash games you can make an argument. Now, I'll say this. In that first start, he got really unlucky. So that 15, like, maybe he should be averaging more. He had a 6.75 ERA, but only a 1.92 FIP. 1.5 WHIP is kind of high. 25% K rate. Not really sure where that came from. Right? Not really sure. I'm about to look and see where it came from. I really want to know. He played LG, 6 Ks, 4 earned runs, 6 hits, and 5 and 3. That was a high-scoring game, too. His team won because the Dinos are they score like that. They're just beasts like that. So, again, going back to it, would I normally want to pay 9.7 for a pitcher like this? Who, again, I'm not talking about this one sample. I'm talking about last year, what did he do in a whole? For this pitcher. No. On this slate, yes. Because that's how bad I think the pitching actually is. To me, that's how bad it looks. Now, I'll leave it at that. Do I love him? No. Do I think he's going to be popular? Yes. I think he'll be somewhat popular because people are going to take Straley and they're going to pair him with Jae-Hak Lee, this Kwon Yu dude. Maybe even, probably not Moon. Moon will be low owned, man. He'll be low owned. I don't know why Moon is 8,700. That's kind of weird. But anyway, let me get back over to it here. So, as far as Jae-Hak Lee's opponents, it's not bad. We don't have any stats for Hyun Seok Lee because he's a rookie this year. Again, when I switch to 2020 stats, we should have that. But SK, I mean, it really comes down to 2 guys for them. You could stretch it to 4 for the guys that have good wobas, but Jeong Choi and Jamie Romack are monster power hitters. This is another one. I do think Hak Lee will be popular, so if you aren't playing them, you want to get some one-offs of Romack or a mini stack of Choi and Romack, I never mind. If they were expensive, they don't project all that well for us because of how good the numbers were for Hak Lee last year. And again, that's what our projections are basing it off of. But you could see the power numbers speak for itself. As far as Seung-Won Moon, let's take a look into him, looking at this year's numbers. So far what he's done this year, pretty much on pace with what he did last year as a whole. This is a very shitty matchup. Didn't do very good so far this year. 6.35 ERA, a 5.22 FIP, a 1.59 WHIP, 28% K rate. That's kind of wild. 8% home run rate. Oh my gosh. And I have the article mostly written. I'll release the article after the show at some point just to I like to go through this, talk to you guys, and kind of fine tune anything. But I can tell you right now that the NC Dinos are one of my favorite stacks on the slate. Right? Like that's, yeah, definitely going to be one of my favorite stacks on the slate. So I'm good with that. You know? I'm good with that. What else do we got here? $8,700. That's what I wanted to look for. I got a little brain dead for a second there. Seung-Won Moon, why are you 8,700? No idea. Against the Giants, he had 7 Ks in 5 2/3 innings. Give up 4 earned, 9 hits. Had 7 strikeouts, but 9 hits, 4 earned. That was against the Giants, a lot of Giants who've been hot. I know they're supposed to be a bad team, but they've been hot. I'll be playing a lot of the Dinos. They led the league in homers last year. I'm sure the Dinos will be somewhat popular. They're popular just because people like them, and because they are good. They're genuinely good. They led the fucking league in homers. Like, if you want them, so does everybody else. Think about it. But that's kind of where I am. It's pretty much the NC Dinos. Like I said, I'm going to end up playing Hockley, even though I don't want to pay 9.7. I'm going to end up getting some exposure because I'm not comfortable with the pitching on the slate anyway. How much, I'm not sure. The projection is not awful, but it's definitely not damn good. It's not good. I mean, if this was Major League Baseball, this would be a real shitty slate if you had to pay 9.7 for this guy. But this is not. This is the KBO. And he's a good pitcher. I'm not trying to shit on him. He's a good pitcher. He's just, strikeouts are everything in fantasy and DFS, right? My boy Sung Bum Na, take that, dude. He's projecting really well for us today. Yes, sir. The NC Dinos with awesome projections for us today. Projecting really, really well. Except for Aaron Altair, but that's honestly because it's going off of his numbers. Well, he's kind of been a shithead anyway. Why the fuck is he 6K? What has he done to earn that? He had like one good game. He was chalk opening day, sucked, bounced back the next day when nobody was on him. And this dude's getting pitched for, getting hurt by pitches, all kinds of shit. I don't know. I'm going to have to make the change to Hanwha, though, going back. But yeah, Dinos all day. I'm going to get a lot of Dinos. A lot of them. Larry says, I'm late now. Yeah, Larry. I was on time today, man. I didn't know if I was. I made some ribs today. I didn't realize, like, how long it was going to take. You know, so I was like, oh, shit. Maybe I should have stretched the show out later. And then some shit went down. But, yo, we are here. We are here. I'm wondering where everybody's at, man. I'm here. I'm here, man. I'm here for the grind. I'm ready. I'm getting after it. Attacking it. Like we do every slate. Like we do every day. Normally, at the WiseTake Nation. If you don't know, now you know. Hit that like video if you haven't already, guys. Much appreciated. All right, let's see. We've got the, everybody's favorite team. The Doosan Bears and the Kia Tigers. All right. So Doosan, once again, the highest over-under team total at Pinnacle Sportsbook at 5.5. I think the only team today with a 5.5. At least they were at the time when I was looking at everything. These guys are really good. Really good. Offensively. Hoi Kwan Yu. His numbers are not that different from Jae-Hak Lee, which we'll get into. This is 2017, so Jae-Hak Lee's projection looks like it's a little bit better right now, like by 2 points, which is not much. But look at the numbers. 3.25 ERA, 3.77 FIP, the whip 1.28. The Ks are almost cut in half, but it's not like 16 is really high. Home run percentage is the same. These guys are very similar. They're in pretty similar spots. I do think that I feel the same way about him as I do about Lee. I kind of maybe I want to go to Lee at this point. But either way, you're relying on BABIP for these two, and to pay those prices that relying on BABIP is scary. And that's all the more reason that Straley is going to be that popular, because whether you're pairing him with those guys or using Straley as your SP1, just doesn't make sense. It just drives me nuts. I'm going to have to change some of the Straley stats to some of the shit from this year, because I don't like the Hanwha grades I'm getting. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, I'm not, what has he done this year, I guess? Quan did not do so great. Oh, wow. He was actually really bad in his last game. Wow, look how bad he was. 11.25 ERA, 6 FIP, 2.750 whip. What happened? How did I miss this? Did I just not get any of them? Where is he? Oh, shit. Yeah, he's not in the pool over there. Damn. Okay. I have to go back and I'll have to go look that up at another time because it's not in the fantasy sequential player pool for whatever reason. It's slacking. But we'll have to come back and take a look at that. Because that's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. Doosan and Kia. Check back for an update there. All right, back to what we was doing. So I'm okay with getting some exposure to him. Not like... Again, I'm just not overly thrilled about paying 9.2 for a guy that has a 9% strikeout rate on a season last year. As far as the Kia Tigers, like part of the reason I'm okay with it is because I'm slowly learning, unfortunately the hard way, that these guys aren't that good. Preston Tucker I'm cool with as a one-off. Hyung-Woo Choi if you want to make it a little mini stack. Chan-Ho Park I include in any Kia stack. 39 stolen bases, I'll take that. I don't care that his ISO sucks, his WOBA sucks. You give me that kind of stolen bases, I'm down with this. It's the same he doesn't walk more. That's a low walk rate for a guy that could be this useful. But guys are probably going after him because he sucks. I hate to say it, guys. Doosan's been chalk every day. They're going to be chalk once again today. And it's not really a day that I think we could really back off either. I'd love to be cute I love to be cute. You know me. I like to try. Lately, I've been trying that, and it's this one's tough. Ki Young Im. Pull up the stats. Let's investigate. Ki Young Im, all the way at the bottom down here. Last year, 5.73 ERA, but a 4.74 FIP. It's good that it was lower. It shows us that he got a little unlucky, but 4.74 is not exactly great. 1.77 whip, that can get him in trouble. Only a 16% K rate, 3% home run rate, so he was prone to home runs. That is really high for this league, which is why you can see we like Dusan so much. Looking at him, what he's done this year, it wasn't terrible. 8.3 ERA, 2.41 FIP. That's kind of interesting. Him, we can check and see who he played. Oh, he played Samsung. So he put up an 8.95 in 4.3 innings. Four and a third, I'm sorry, against Samsung. Which, to be clear, Samsung is the worst offense out there. I know they broke the slate or they won the slate. It's going to happen once in a while. But they are the worst offense, the best team to target pitchers against for the most part night in that night. We've seen some of these pitchers have their biggest scores against these guys. Yeah, 6 Ks, give up 4 earned, though. 6 Ks, give up 4 earned. Maybe he got a little bit unlucky. That was Samsung, so that was the spot for him to do it. 30% K rate was impressive, but again, that's Samsung. Different situation. Why does it matter? If we go to look at... So we know that based off last year that he's not really a predominantly strikeout guy. Look at the opposing strikeout rate for Dusan, 12.48%. That is crazy low. Look at individually these guys, 10%, 8%, 18%, 19%, 10, 12, 13, 6, 11. That's ridiculously low strikeout rates. Going back to Dusan, they project well. I'd probably project the best for us. Yeah, I think every player on this team at this point should be priced around Jose Fernandez just because of how well they've played and also how popular they've been. Unfortunately, I can't tell you. It's not. I don't think it's time to back off, man. I think we're still sticking with some Dusan, right? Like, there's other offenses we like. We're still sticking with some Dusan. Bottom line, suck it. Speaking of Samsung, they are playing the KT Wiz. Battle of the Shitstorm. All right, we got Tae-In Woo, who last year was nothing special to say the least, right? ERA just under 5, mid-4s, FIP, nothing flashy, 1.4 whip, 13% K rate. These guys don't like to strike guys out. It's all good. We've got Hyung Jun So on the other side. Oh, I think this is the kid. Is this the kid? I'll tell you right now if it's the kid. Once we remember these names, we'll have an edge, right? If we could just fucking remember the names. So, is it the same exact? Yeah, okay, this is him. So, believe it or not, this guy actually projects the second best for us on the slate outside of Straley. And I'm not going to lie, because of Dusan, because of DC and wanting to spend some money, I kind of like the idea of rolling with just saving the money instead of paying the 9.7. I mean, look, I have projections built off a one-game sample for him because he only had one game. He's a rookie, 18-year-old kid. But he happens to be playing Samsung, who's the worst team in the league. If there was ever a situation where he was going to have some success at 6K, this would be the spot. 9% K rate in his last game. Hideous. His first game, right? He was 4K that day. He went for 11 DraftKings points against Dusan. So against Dusan, he went 5 innings, he gave up 5 hits, 2 earned, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. And you can look at his FIP. It wasn't about luck. If anything, he was a little bit unlucky. I like him. I like the idea of him, Straley, and loading up on bats a little bit more than I like the idea of going up to don't get me wrong, Hockley are probably my third highest or fourth or something like that. Maybe working Quan if Fantasy Cruncher decides to put him in their pool at some point. But yeah, I actually think I'm going to take some shots with this dude. It's Samsung. If you're going to take a shot on a pitcher in a situation, why not? I mean, once in a while, Samsung's going to erupt like they did yesterday. But for the most part, we've seen them just get slaughtered by pitchers. I mean, if he goes for 10 and Jay-Hawk Lee goes for 16, you mean to tell me that the $3,700 you saved for So didn't help you somewhere else? It probably could have. Now, there are a lot of pricing inefficiencies, so maybe you didn't need it. But that's it. I'm not going to go crazy trying to sell you on this guy because I don't feel comfortable with it, but I don't like the pitching. You know, I really don't. Straley, and then what? Right? And Straley's chalk as fuck. I should have been looking at the other guy too. Tae-In Woon. I don't mind him. I don't particularly love him. I don't mind him. 3 ERA look good, but a 6.77 FIP tells a different story. Maybe some aggression coming. Maybe we stack KT Wiz finally. I actually don't hate that. This is this year. If we look at last year, 4.82 ERA, 4.46 FIP. Home run rate above average. Let me check. I wouldn't be surprised if we were getting some KT. I bet you we were. Yeah, we were getting some KT. They actually graded out projection wise as like our third highest. I say third highest because I have to do some work to Hanwha. They're a little too high, but so I'm gonna make some changes to this after the show. It'll update on the site once I make them. But yeah, I think the KT Wiz might be kind of interesting. Let's take a look and see. I mean, we know we got Mel Rojas, right? 6,200, which again, like the guys that you want. This is an expensive team. That's kind of weird. They haven't been that great, but they got some boppers. But look at this. So Jae Gun Hwang is 46. Mel Rojas is 62. Han Junyo is 4'4". Baek Ho Kang 5'9". This is kind of an interesting spot. They don't project like through the roof because they're so expensive. Their raw projections are fine. It's just the point per dollar because of the pricing. But you got some stolen bases. This is why I keep falling for this trap with the KT Wiz. But I think I might do it again, man. I think this Tae-In Woon guy sucks. And I think between the stolen bases, I think they might be a decent stack. So I'll probably try it again with KT Wiz. They got power. They got a decent amount of power. If this is 2019 numbers, man, like what happened? What's going on? 20 home runs, 24. Like we got a little good ice. We got some really good wobas. We got stolen base upside. Like come on, these dudes got to go. I don't know what their problem is, man. They got to go. It is bullshit. But yeah, I think I'm selling myself on the offense, and I'll take Hyun Jun. So you Straley him. You can fucking pay for all these guys. 6'2", no problem. Wipe my ass with it. Let's go. You know what I mean? Let's go over to last game here. Kiwoom Heroes. I feel like I've been stacking the heroes all the time, and they haven't really done shit lately. So I just assumed, they must suck, and they're only 6 and they're actually 6-3. They're actually they've been winning. I guess that they've been holding opposing offenses down with them, just kind of ruining things. But I don't know. Anyway, they're sending Hyun Hee Han to the mound. Pretty good numbers last year, but I think came out of the bullpen. Pretty sure he's going up against Chan Hyung Jung. Who really doesn't have very much stats at all. He's another bullpen guy, I guess. Some bullpen guys here. Kiwoom. We've got Kiwoom striking out 17%, over 17% based off this projected lineup. Let's look at some pitching stats right quick. All right. I'm going to pull this guy up. Chan Jung Yeon. It's like I do all this shit when I write the article earlier, and then by the time everything comes, I just fucking forget, man. Just the names, not knowing the names. Like, obviously, we all know who Mike Trout is, right? You asked me about Mike Trout. It's like, oh, yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Okay, so, yeah. So, the numbers you're seeing are from 2019, 13 games total, no starts. So, yeah, 13 games total, no starts. 6 saves. So he may have been in some sort of closer role, potentially. So I think that against the Kiwoom Heroes, this could be an interesting spot to do something interesting. If you look at, let's see what he's done. Let me see, Hyun. What is this? Jeong, Chan Hyun Jeong. Oh, he played Doosan too, man. This might be another cheap guy we might want to take a shot on. He played Doosan. He pitched 4 innings, which is promising. Only 63 pitches, but he gave up 3 earned, 3 strikeouts, 7 hits. So that's a little alarming. He was 4K that day, 6-2 now. He gave up 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, only threw 63 pitches. Against Doosan, though. It's kind of promising. He gets to the KBO Heroes, another good offense, which makes it a tough spot. And his numbers didn't look great. I can't do it. I think I'd rather. Why would you want to attack the Heroes for $200 more? Would you rather attack the KBO Heroes, who are projected to be one of the best offenses in the game, despite whether or not they're doing well or not? Or would you rather attack Samsung, who is projected for and has been one of the worst offenses in the game? I just can't see myself not taking So over him. Maybe that's a mistake. I don't know. As far as Han, we can take a look at Han. Right? Yeah, KBO Heroes with Byung Ho Park, 33 homers, 6% home run rate last year. No thanks. I like the Heroes offense. They don't project as well as I would have liked, but I'll probably do some manipulations and making sure I get some stacks of them. I'm sure I'll get some of these guys, but it's again, I'm gonna have to adjust some samples, right? Like the reason that the Heroes aren't projecting well is because it's using this guy's numbers. That was out of the bullpen. I mean, this guy doesn't. I mean, don't get me wrong, the numbers were good, but he's coming out of the bullpen. That's a little worrisome. Maybe we could work some shares in. Maybe I'm being stubborn. I'll probably work some shares in him. Come on now. What's the point of doing all those teams, right? Hyun Hee Han. Han played Hanwha, 4 Ks, 8 hits, 3 earned, 6 innings through 100 pitches. That's nice. Last year, 7-5. Didn't really give up home runs. Solid FIP. Whip is pretty solid. Pretty good K rate. This guy looks pretty interesting to me right now. I forgot to switch the screen over. My bad, guys. Where is he at here? All right. So, yeah, last year we saw those numbers. They were awesome. This year, still looking pretty good. It looks like another bullpen transition guy. He just played Hanwha, and looks like he may have gotten a little lucky. Ks were down. Home run rate was actually kind of high in that game. Must have given up. He had 3 earned. Must have been home runs. I don't mind taking a shot, but you see my point, though. The pitching is just not, like, super pretty. She's not great. Keep in mind that LG is supposed to be a good offense. That game these are 2 really good offenses, the Heroes and LG. They're both good offenses. We talked about Byung Ho Park at the top, but LG's got Roberto Ramos, who's like basically like Byung Ho Park, but the Mexican version. 30 home runs, 6% home run rate, 422 WOBA, 271 ISO. This is a battle of the boppers right here. It does look like LG's projecting a little stronger for us, which is interesting. But this is kind of polarizing because these are 2 of the more decent pitchers, it looks like, from what I see. Not that I'm not saying they're great or good, but they're relative to what we have on the slate, they're decent. But it's also 2 of the top offenses. Not like, again, mediocre, right? Mediocre relative to the slate for the pitching. Mediocre with the bats because they're good, but the Dinos and Doosan are just fucking out of this world right now compared to these 2. So it's interesting. Polarizing spots, man. My article, I might take a little bit of time with the article. You know what I mean? Gilbert Powell, what's up, bro? He said, I've been here just listening to my bedtime story before my nap. I feel you, bro. I appreciate you tuning in. Mike Honcho says, can't wait for the rain to pour on my lineups. Real quick, guys, I'll actually make sure you're following Kevin Roth with the weather stuff, man. He does a pretty good job of that shit. Really good job of that shit. He's a DFS meteorologist. Take advantage. His stuff is free. Hit him up on Twitter, and again, you wake up, you get that weather news. As of right now, I haven't seen anything. I'll actually check and see if anybody has anything out right now. But I really didn't. I'll check Kevin Roth's Twitter myself, matter of fact. Let's do this real quick. Kevin Roth. He put it up last night, so he's gonna put it up at some point. He doesn't have it for today yet, or for the 15th, I think. Yeah, it was from yesterday. So, but that's who you're gonna want to follow to get the weather. He's a really cool dude too. We did an interview with him, one of the DFS interviews. So check it. My Concho, do thy dirties, yes sir. Do thy dirty to thy neighbor before thy neighbor does dirty to you. I had an awesome chat. Somebody was in the site chat yesterday. Our boy, I know who it is, longtime member, Ranimal, our boy, WiseTake Nation member, and he put some funny shit out there. He had a pretty awesome one. Said he's doing the dirty to his neighbor from 6 feet away. I don't know why I thought that was so funny, but I like that. I love it. But anyway, guys, that's the last game, right? I think we just covered them all. Yep. We covered them all. I'm not going to ramble. It's fun hanging out with y'all. Sometimes I can get a little carried away and keep these things going longer than it should. Mike Contra says, I'm banned from Twitter for some reason. There's like a 40% chance of rain in the Lotta game as of earlier. Oh, interesting, Mike. I'm glad you were able to share that with us. So it looks like there could be some rain in one of the games. We'll keep an eye on that. It's the rain season, so we're going to have to deal with this for sure. But, yeah, we'll have to keep an eye. If I see anything weather-wise, that's like no. If there's something going on, like if the weather's fine, I'm not gonna write the weather's fine today, right, in the article, which is not up yet. If I wake up in the morning and there's a weather concern, I will post where you can find a link to the weather report. So you can always check the article if there's a weather concern. I'll have a link telling you to look at the weather if there's weather concerns, because I will check myself, obviously. But anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all, man. Keep hitting the like button. It really motivates me and allows me to continue to do this stuff for you. It really helps us out. Tough times for everyone I know, economically and everything else, socially, everything. And, we all got to kind of stick together and do what we can, make the best out of the situation. And, like I said, continue to do dirties before the dirties are done to us. So hopefully, hopefully we win the donkey, right? I want to win it. If I don't win it, I hope you all win it. I hope, one of us gets it. For myself, the entire WiseTake Nation, as always, good luck.